So you've been doing your product research for a number of weeks now, and you've built out a list of what you think are good ideas, and you've been going over it and going over it and going over it, and you just can't decide on which one you want to go ahead with. And look, I totally get it. I was at that point when I first started and I was scared to invest that bigger amount of money than I ever had before into a product that I thought was good, but I didn't have anyone else to ask. So today we're going to go over my 3-step checklist that you can use to just decide on a product and to get selling. The checklist is made up of search volume, revenue, and most importantly, competition. But before we get into that, if you want a complete full guide that gives you every single step of how to launch onto Amazon Australia, I have our success blueprint down in the description. It's completely free for you to download. You can print it out, keep it on your computer, see which step you're up to and what you have to do in the future in order for you to start selling. It doesn't cost you anything at all. All I ask is that if you like it, if you get some value from it, share it with someone else that you think it might also help, because I want to get as many Australians selling on Amazon Australia as possible. Now, before we go through this checklist together, there's a couple of things that you need to have right in your mind before you actually start selling on Amazon Australia. And the first one being that whilst these videos do definitely help you a lot, and I know you've been smashing them through and getting a course, and even when I coach people, like that's gonna help you so much. But you know what helps you even more? Actually going live and starting selling. It's just like you can read and watch videos about push-ups as much as you like, but until you actually do push-ups, you're not gonna gain anything from it. So by going out and going through this checklist, but it's so hard to get everything to line up and to be perfect. Okay, it's much better for you just to go out and to start selling, because you're gonna learn so much more just from being in the trenches, listing a product, organizing your shipping, going through, and every time you do it, you're gonna get better at it for your next product. Especially with something like Amazon Australia, where the opportunity is growing more every single day. More and more people are buying every single day, but that means more and more people are seeing the money that is being made on there, so more and more people want to sell. So every single day that you wait trying to get that product a little bit more perfect, or maybe like, oh, do I want to buy this piece of education that's going to put me above everyone else? Every single day that you wait is another day that it becomes more and more competitive. So get in there and just start selling, okay? So many people are worried that they're gonna go in and that they're gonna fail, or they're not gonna make money on their first order, and I need to set your expectations straight, okay? Nearly no one realistically makes a heap of money on their first order, okay? I know a lot of people try to tell you that you can go in and make 10K on your first order, but please buy my course, but I always want to keep it honest, okay? Usually you go in with your first order and your goal is just to make sales, okay? You're going in, you're testing the product, you're showing Amazon that your product is a good salesperson, that customers come, they see it and they want to buy, so you get ranked high, and then you come in with your second order, you place it a bit bigger so your costs are a little bit cheaper from your manufacturer and you make a bit more profit. And then your third order, you make a bit more profit, and you slowly start creeping it up until maybe after a couple of reorders, that's when you start to make that couple thousand a month, 10,000 a month, 50,000 a month, okay? So it's not something that just happens like that. It's only something that happens from you getting the reps, from getting in and doing your first order, from starting selling, and maybe your first one fails, okay? Don't think of it as, oh my God, this is the worst. It's a scam. It's not going to work for me. With every product that you launch and it doesn't work, you only learn, okay? You can't get to the highest level and making the highest amount of money without going through these initial stages and learning your way through the process. Okay, so having kept all of that in mind, firstly, your search volume, okay? So you've got your list there and you're looking through about your 10 products and you're not quite sure which ones to go with. And so first you start off with your search volume, okay? Now I know that when you look on Amazon Australia and you're using like your ZonGuru research tool, that sometimes it says like search volume is under 50 for this term. So what I would do is grab your product and do a keywords on fire on it. So what this is going to do is it's going to pull all of the keywords that are used when people are buying from this product, and then you're going to see what the top ones are that people are searching for. So you're gonna want to go in there and have a look, and Australia is a little bit different to the US market when you're looking at the search volume, okay? Because you're gonna be going on there, and for some products they're already gonna be making a heap of money, and their search volume is gonna be in the several thousands or a couple hundreds, like high hundreds, and that's fantastic, okay? If you see that already, I'd be like, boom, big green tick. But then for some others, you're gonna see it's maybe in the low hundreds, and they're still making a little bit of money here and there, but don't write it off yet, okay? What I would go and do instead is look on the US market for the same search terms, okay? Because you can use the US market as a guideline. So if you see on the US for that same search term that it's tens of thousands, 100,000 searches for that a month, then we can kind of expect that the Australian market is going to grow to a third of the size of the US. Okay, so if you see this big search term on the US, but it's not there on the Australian yet, I'd still think that that's okay to go ahead with. All right, it just means you're a little bit early on the curve, which might be a great thing. Okay, it means you can get in before everyone else, cement your position, and then when the search volume starts to increase, you're already gonna have that top spot. On the flip side, if you go to the US market and the search volume's only a couple thousand there, then it's probably going to be too small of a niche for you to go into on Australia. So if it is that, maybe then you cross it off, you go on to the next one, but otherwise you can still get that green tick using those two different methods. And then building off of this is the revenue of the products you're looking at. Now this can work in a very similar way by first you can go in there and see that maybe several of the products are making high thousands a month, okay, tens of thousands a month. There's even some in there making hundreds of thousands a month on Amazon Australia already. But for a lot of the categories, they're definitely in the low thousands or sort of between that range and 10,000 a month, okay, which is still quite small compared to the US market. So you can base it off that, and obviously if your niche is doing several tens of thousands a month, then it's fantastic, green tick, go ahead. But what we can do if it's a little bit smaller than that is, again, go over to the US market, look in there, see for that same niche, what revenue are the different products doing? Are they already in tens of thousands, hundreds of $1,000s a month in there? And then we can sort of judge it that the Australian market is going to grow to fit that same revenue, okay? So if it is, you can still give it a green tick, think, okay, I'm a little bit ahead of the curve, let's get in there, get some sales, get some reviews, so then as it grows, our product is going to grow with it. But something I do want you to keep in mind with the revenue is even if there's a heap of products in that niche that are doing maybe 3,000 a month, 5,000, and you're looking at it like, oh, like it's not that big. I was kind of looking for those big home runs. I have a lot of students that go through and they launch products and they get them up to $5,000, $6,000 a month. I tell them to always aim for that 30% profit margin or slightly above. And then once you learn how to do it once, you can start doing it a couple times, okay? So you get in there and then you launch a second product. So you've got two of them doing $5,000 a month in sales. You're then at $10,000 a month in sales, okay? And of course, it's only going to grow, like I said, as the Australian market grows. So don't count them out just because they're only doing a couple $1,000s a month. Look at it as an opportunity for you to play the long game where you got in ahead of everyone else. And then lastly, and for me, this one is the most important, is your competition, okay? Now this is the biggest indicator of whether a opportunity is something that you can get in there and take advantage of, because you can have a look at how many different sellers are there. Are they already really differentiated? Is there a heap of different products in different colors or different functions? So it's going to be hard for me to think of something that I can do differently and stand out. Are there people already advertising? Are they doing the simple ones like sponsored products? How many of them are relevant? Are they doing the sponsored brands at the top? Is there someone doing a sponsored video? Because if they're not doing that, then that's something that you can automatically do to get an advantage, okay? You just go in and you run a sponsored video, you run a sponsored brand, you do your sponsored product, and your product's gonna show up 2-3 times more than everyone else's. You can go in, use ZonGuru or Helium 10 and look at what your competition's listings are like. If they're doing a really lazy job, they're chucking up 3 or 4 images that are just trash, they have a short description, horrible bullet points, all you have to do is go in, have a more optimized listing, and you're going to rank above them automatically. Okay, so going in, some of the biggest opportunity that you can take advantage of lies with how lazy your competition are being. If you find it hard to keep track of all of that with your competition, I'll have down below in the description a free download for you. It's a product research spreadsheet. You go in and you answer, it's got questions on there like search volume, other competition advertising, video, sponsored brand, everything we just said. You answer yes or no and it'll tick it green or red for you. So then you can see across the board, are my competition being lazy, or where can I go in to take advantage of it? It'll be down below, totally free for you to download. So once you go through all of these and you start to cross off some of the products from your list and you're left with some of them, just pick one and go ahead, okay? Place a small order, 50, 100 units, go in there, test if it sells. It's never a bad problem to have too many ideas that are good, okay? You go in, you test it, maybe it doesn't work, okay? But you learned so much from doing that one, and now you've got another 3, 4, 5 product ideas waiting for you to test. Okay, you want to go in because all it takes is one of them to be successful, and then you scale it up, you build out a brand, and you're able to do it again and again and again. So make sure you take advantage of those free resources down below. Remember, I want my free stuff to be better than everyone else's paid. So all I ask is that you share it with somebody else that you think might be able to use it as well, so we can get more Australians dominating on Amazon Australia. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. I'm so proud of you for taking this step to move forward and have a big change in your life. And remember, you're only one product away from living the life of your dreams. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.